Hello, and welcome to another edition of Dunstan Plays Transformers Earth Wars. In this episode, we're going to be looking at some raid attacks, and specifically what my strategy has been lately to maximize the amount of points that I'm earning per raid. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to find a pretty advanced raid battle. This is the second to last one here. Gonna get my strongest team, and I'm gonna go ahead and activate a combiner. Trypticon City, medium. So you'll notice this shock tower that they have in the middle. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. And I'm going to be using Perceptor's special ability to use that shock tower against all of the buildings around it, and specifically all of the weapons around it. First, of course, I'm going to use my combiner just to get all of the combiner damage I can. Starting off with the missile power that he has. I'm going to follow it up with the shockwave, and then his ground and pound maneuver. Right now, Optimus Maximus is my strongest combiner. The combiner does a really good amount of damage, but it's fairly insignificant compared to what Perceptor can do utilizing the large shock towers. So you can see I have Cosmos just to take care of the shock tower that's in front to keep my main team alive as long as possible. And then I'm really just spamming out Perceptor's special ability on that main shock tower. My ability to spam it out will decrease as the ratio of ability units coming in versus the cost per use of Perceptor's special ability augments in favor of it costing more than I have. Then I kind of have to wait on the towers to break down from the shock tower's repeated pulses to get more usability points. This is also a critical point. I have two possible solutions to the danger that's coming up to the team. You can see the team starting to work on buildings that are in the range of that large shock tower. The only problem is if I can't keep spamming Perceptor's ability on that main shock tower, my team will start getting injured and die prematurely before the time's out, and they can really make use of all of the damage points coming up. So there are two options. The option I went with is to temporarily use Cosmos to make sure that the shock tower doesn't turn back into an offensive against my team as best I can. The other alternative would have been to use Optimus Prime's guiding power and point them in a different direction. Unfortunately, you can see at the very bottom of the screen and in the right side of the screen, the free towers that the team would be fighting against now anyways would also be shock towers, so not the best possible outcome. Alright, Cosmos has been killed, so it's just whatever I can still get out of Perceptor while he's still alive. Perceptor's done, but the shock tower is going to give me a few more bonus shocks. You can see that's a pretty good score, about 30,000 points almost, just under. And then the other good thing about these raids is the amount of experience that you get to your troops. So we're going to do another battle using the same technique. We're going to go back to that same battle, the penultimate, the second to last. Because this is an hour later and my team is recovered, I have to reactivate my combiner, and we'll be going back to Triptychon City medium. And we're back at Triptychon City medium. So this time we're going to be targeting the shock tower to the right, because as you can see there are a lot of other battle towers around it, whereas we've kind of depleted everything that's around the center shock tower. So now when I engage with spamming of Perceptor's unique ability for this shock tower, it'll get a maximum impact to the surrounding battle towers. Of course, starting out with using my Optimus Maximus combiner to get the most combiner damage before engaging the team. Another thing I've realized is before you actually engage the combiner, you kind of have to let your team all aggregate in the corner here. Otherwise, especially with Perceptor, because he's slow, he'll be left behind and his range of his ability will not be able to actually reach the shock tower, which is super annoying, and you'll have to use Optimus's special ability to kind of gather everyone up in the corner. In the meantime, your team will be taking some unnecessary damage, as if you just wait a few moments to get Perceptor up in the corner before calling your combiner into the fight. Here you can see the remainder of the team is safely attacking the towers outside of the range of the shock tower, but for the extra safety of the team and to maximize the points, I'm going to keep spamming the shock tower closest to them to make sure that they're not taking any unnecessary damage. In fact, I'll even commit Cosmos to attacking that tower with his ability. What I'm slightly doing here, but you'll see in my next attack, is I'm kind of keeping Perceptor in between the two towers and spamming both of them one after the other to keep the range of damage as blanketed and as open as possible. And Perceptor has died, but we'll get a couple of extra hits here. Now there, it wasn't as big of a score, only 15,000, but you can see how this technique works pretty well. And now we're accumulating the experience, which I also have the experience boost for the whole team, giving them all an extra 25% on top, which is pretty nice. Now for our last attack, you'll see we have the two towers in play like we did before, and I'll be trying to go back and forth a little bit more. Now that everyone's aggregated in the corner, I'm activating my combiner. I do have one combiner, this is an Optimus Maximus combiner at 4-star power. I do not know if they're going to allow us to have a 5-star Optimus Maximus combiner. There doesn't seem to be anything indicating that at this time, but it would be great to see him with another special ability, something even stronger than that 4-star Missile Strike would be interesting to see. Again, the damage he does is adequate, but nothing compared to the damage Perceptor does when he's taking advantage of these shock towers. So this is basically the strategy. There's not much more to it. Just try and do this as much as possible, and if by chance the technique is effective and I run out of shock towers to utilize or surrounding buildings to utilize and take advantage of with using Perceptor's ability on these shock towers, I'll try and use other bases as well. There's the Triptychon medium himself that can be used, and then some of the lesser bases still have large shock towers like these that are up front and able to be accessed with either Cosmos or Perceptor's ability. So let me know what you think of this strategy, and please feel free to leave any comments of ways that I can make more exciting content regarding Transformers Earth Wars. I think it's a great game. I've been playing it for years. Please let me know if you have any other strategies that you find effective on taking on these raids. As always, please subscribe to the channel and please hit that like button. Let me know that you're out there and you appreciate the work, because I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Not so bad. Better than the last time, not as good as the first time. And that experience boost again, so nice. Alright, take it easy. Thanks for watching.